Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are here with another Tuesday training with Tom and David Lemon. So, David, thanks for being with us today.
No problem.
As always, all you Groove members from around the world are going to have access to the training that I'll be sharing, but also David's mind behind the scenes. He is one of the few who knows the intricacies of GroovePages and GrooveSell at a level that very few do. And that's what our topic and training is related to today. So all the other questions with the different Groove moving parts are probably for another time and place. But for any of your GroovePages and GrooveSell questions, that's what we're going to be talking today about in this training, about GrooveFunnels. And Dave is the master at that. I'm decent. Not the master yet, but I am a master at marketing. I am a master at producing great results, and that's part of our topic today as well. So, David, thanks for being with us. And let me jump to the proper slide there. That's a later part in the show. But right now, here's the topic for today. If you're not aware, today is September 22nd, 2020. And I know this day and this being the 100 days left in the year because it's also my birthday. And I will say this, the years go by faster and faster. So David, you're still a youngin'. Those that are below my age, which you see on the screen there, 48 years old, are like, oh my goodness, 48, that's many years. And those who say, you know what, I have underwear older than you, regardless of where you are on that spectrum, here's the reality. It does go faster. Think about it. If you're 1 and turn 2, you've doubled your life. If you're 2 and turn 3, you're 1/3 older than you were. When you're 47 and turn 48, you're 1/48th of the pie. So it's a smaller, quicker slice. The way I like to say is life is like a roll of toilet paper. When you're in the beginning, it's nice and big and full and seems like you got a whole bunch left. When you get towards the end, it goes faster and faster around the little spindle there in the middle. And we've all been on the throne when you reach over and pull the last piece. Holy crap, one more piece. You got to make it work. So as your years add up, they do go faster. And there's a lesson behind this as well. And there comes a point when we all have that last piece, that last day. We don't know when that is. That's the rub. Kind of like toilet paper. You never really have it planned or scheduled on your calendar that, oh, it's time to change. You change it when necessary. So we don't know when that last day is. And part of the trainings that we're doing here are to help, yes, show you how to use GroovePages, show you how to use GrooveSell, show you how to get your message to the world. And that's whether you have a product, a service, your company, your message, something you believe strongly in, or anything that you're looking to help a certain area or niche in this world. Using GroovePages, using GrooveSell, we're going to be showing you how to use these powerful tools to use GroovePages for two purposes. One, to grow your opt-ins. That's one aspect of GroovePages. You create a page and you post the headline, you post a video, you post the bullet points, you post whatever is necessary for you to help that visitor who most likely isn't there because they had nothing else to do in the world. They're there because something led them there, which intrigued them enough to take their most precious asset, which is time, and invest it by being on your page. Hopefully you're recognizing there's lessons here before we get to the welcome everybody. So if you're there in here and you're used to the regular routine, go ahead and type in where you're joining from. I'll get to that in a minute. But this is an important lesson. Never think that the people are there just wasting time. Guess what? They're not. People are, well, let's just say this. There's been studies that have shown people have the attention span equivalent to a goldfish. Yes. So if you have a goldfish, tap on that little glass, talk to your little goldfish, and that's as much attention as you're going to get from these people, unless you apply the marketing strategy, you apply the influence strategies that we're going to be talking about in these ongoing trainings and the trainings that we've done up to this point. So while they're there, you have to do everything within your power, within your capabilities to get and keep their attention and go through the 4 premises of marketing. AIDA: attention, interest, desire, and action. You got to get their attention. keep it enough to where they're interested and stick around longer than a few seconds, like that goldfish, ooh, squirrel, or dog, squirrel, and then go on, ooh, ball, chase the next shiny object. So attention, interest, you got to have enough meat there that hooks them and says, man, and goes to the D, desire. You have them wanting what you're talking about. And then the A is key, action. You're not doing it to get them excited and then leave, to fulfill the promises you've made. You are asking them to either opt in, give their email, give their name, email, give their name, email, phone number, whatever it is, to engage and say, yes, I want that. And when they give that to you, then you can also use GroovePages to go into the thank you page and or a one-time offer, which technically is the thank you page, but it's also leading to a special offer. Hey, if you liked that, you're going to love this. And I'm giving this to you because you recently opted in, and that's going to be going to your inbox, your email inbox. So check that in a minute. But if you wanted that, you're going to be thrilled with what it is, but you're going to love what I have to share with you. A special program, limited time. But if you're seeing this, it's still available. And let me tell you about it. Here's what I've got. Here's what it will do for you. Here's what to do next. And that's all in GroovePages. Now you can also use GroovePages in combination with GrooveSell. Let me put GroovePages aside. Let me talk about GrooveSell for a second. GrooveSell is where you actually create products that people pull out their credit card and or enter their PayPal information to vote yes, but with their wallet. Yes, I want that. Here's my payment information. Charge my my credit card or charge my PayPal account so I can gain access to this thing that you've got. So in GrooveSell, you set up the products that people pay you for. And then you take that link, which is going to be a long link that you get there, that you paste on the buy buttons over in GroovePages for your sales pages. So just like we talked about creating an opt-in page in GroovePages, you then do the same thing to create a sales page. Everything you need to get their attention, keep their interest, get them desirous of what you're talking about. Excuse me. And say, yes, I want that action. Take out their credit card, enter their PayPal details, either or, to say, yes, I want that, and purchase your product or service. So you take that URL from GrooveSell and you paste that on the buy buttons. Yes, I want that. Buy here now. Give me access to this now. Whatever that call to action button is, you link it to the URL that you got in GrooveSell. And when they click the button, it's going to bring them to the sales order form where they actually enter their details. And you can do multi-step or single step, all this good stuff. So I'm giving you this brief recap because the good news is the members of the Groove community are growing at tremendous rates. We just broke not too long ago, over 100,000 members in the Facebook group. That's a lot. Like I've been to sporting events in the large stadiums. There's 60,000, there's 80,000 people in that sporting event. That's a huge gathering. Well, we have 100,000 people in the Facebook group inside the Groove family, and it's growing at a record pace continually. So I'm saying this all to frame it for you because a lot of people have questions and a lot of people are new. So before we jump into today's training, that's the brief encapsulating overview of why we meet on a weekly basis here, why you would want to go into the resources we're going to be showing you later to look at some of the previous trainings that I've done on the Tuesday trainings with David here with me, as well as some individual trainings that David's done elsewhere. So we're going to get into all that. But circling back, today's topic, finish the final 100 days strongly. Tom's 48th birthday insights. Yes, today is my 48th birthday to finish this year strongly via GrooveFunnels, which is GroovePages and GrooveSell. So that's the meat. Now, hopefully that can be something that we can now edit out however many minutes I've been talking, 9 minutes. And that's a 9-minute brief overview for anybody starting in the Groove family. Here's what these two things are, the two assets, GroovePages, GrooveSell. And when you tap into the trainings that we've already done and the ones that are upcoming, you're going to learn more how to use each of these tools to grow your lists and to also earn your sales. So that's what we're jumping into. And the topic is very pertinent because, like that roll of toilet paper, these days go fast. These weeks go fast. You've been joining me possibly for several weeks, and the week goes by fast. The question is, did you take advantage of that week, or did the week take advantage of you. Did the week run the show, or did you run the show in the week? And it's all up to implementation, taking the lessons that we talk about on a weekly basis, rolling your sleeves up, diving in, and actually getting it done. So enough of my intro. I'm going to jump over to the comments here as I proceed to the next slide. So we joined up. I didn't update this one because I noticed the date is not my birthday. Today is my birthday, 9/22. So let me know in the chat where you're joining from. I'm going to go take a look in there and see where we have our international users. Is anything happening at all? Dr. Sky? Nope, not at 5:37 p.m. It starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, which I know it can be confusing, ladies and gentlemen, because of the multiple time zones. And so I use Siri or Alexa and ask, what is the time in XYZ time zone? So wherever you are, do the search to find out what that equates to in your time zone. So it kicks off every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Darcy, happy birthday from sunny Vegas. Thank you. Ken, happy birthday. Thank you. Veronica, very young, Tom, wishing you a very happy birthday. Thank you for celebrating with us. Thank you, Veronica. I feel young. It's a good thing. Darcy, the last pieces of the TP roll are the most valuable and cherished. Yes. So wherever you are, like I said, you have clothes in the closet that are older than me, that's fine. And if you're looking at me in your 20s, like, man, that's so many years away. It goes fast. Trust me. But yes, as the toilet paper gets smaller and smaller, the roll gets down to really small around that little ridge. You value each and every day much more. Facebook user. I'm glad I saw that. Facebook user. If you hear me say Facebook user instead of your name, all you need to do is go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. You do this process one time below that you see there. You click on Let StreamYard see your Facebook Live comments, and I should be able to see you. Now, Dean has done this before. That might be Dean, and it just doesn't work. Hey, guess what? Technology doesn't always work, but this works 99% of the time. Hopefully that's you. So Facebook user, happy birthday. Thank you. Happy birthday, Howard Ainley, Facebook user from Colombia. All right, from Colombia, I see you as Facebook user. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Samuel, Brazil. All right, awesome. Glad you could join us from there. Larry from Canada, multi-nations already. Veronica from Boston. Glad to have you here. Facebook user, happy birthday from London. Thank you, and welcome from London. And if that was you at 6:11 p.m. 2 minutes ago, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Humboldt, Tennessee in the house. Awesome. Glad to have you. But I see you as Facebook user as well. Dean in the house as Facebook user. Happy hatching day, Tom. Thank you. Gary from London. Glad to be here. Gary, glad to have you here. Samuel, happy birthday. Thank you. Andre, happy birthday from Belgium. It's 10 past midnight here. Wow, that's dedication, ladies and gentlemen. Way to be. And I'll make sure this is well worth your time. When we get into, hopefully the training that you just got opened your eyes to some stuff, and then we got more to come. So stick around. I'll make it worth your while. Dean, do I want to know why you have a roll of TP that handy? Yes, I went and got it specifically for that example. I was like, I can talk about it or I can go get an example. So I brought the full one. The full roll of toilet paper, as you can see. Much to go around, and one that's not so small, that's scary small, but it's getting there. It's about halfway used or somewhere around there. So yes, specifically for that example, and it always brings a smile, and it's a memorable example as well. So hopefully that might be helpful in some of your conversations. See, this stuff is, yes, I heard it from somebody and have said it, and it works. As you hear stuff from me, obviously don't take my personal stories and make them yours. These are everything I tell that's my personal stories. I've actually had some people ask me, is that real? I only tell real stories, things that really happen in my life. And I would encourage you to do the same. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But any of the other stuff, like this may be a good example for you. Like, hey, guess what? Have you noticed the years are going by more quickly as you age? Well, life is like a roll of toilet paper. And you know what? You don't have to give me credit because I don't remember where the heck I heard it years ago. And it's just one of those things, right? So take the things that I share and see how some of this stuff could be helpful in your presentations. All right. So Howard from Australia. All right. I love my Australian friends. Welcome. Ryan from Vancouver. All right. Good to have you here. Morning from Down Under, youngster, Facebook user. All right. Yep. It's always funny, because 48, man, I look back. I was in the Marine Corps half my age ago, 24 years old. And 48 and 50 seem like forever away. Like, man, those are old people. Anyhow, Ryan, happy birthday, Tom. Thank you. Best birthday wishes from Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee. All right, Facebook user. I see you as Facebook user. So go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Type in Elvis if you want to, and I'll know who you are from Graceland. KNI, knee. Wish you, Mr. Tom Beal, healthy, wealthy, happy year. Thank you. Happy birth. Salo from Brazil. All right, another Brazilian in the house. I love it. Facebook user, I'm lucky. It's the start of the day for me, 8:14 a.m. Wow, that's awesome. And I see you as Facebook user. So you're probably in Australia. You might be the Australian one. So go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Happy birthday, youngster. Randallstown, Maryland. Patrick. All right, Patrick, thank you. Sarah, another Aussie. Great. Lots from down under here. That's fantastic. Facebook user, wasn't it Life's Like a Box of Chocolates? Yep, that's another one. That's the Forrest Gump one. Good stuff. So we're here. We're international. My hope is that brief introduction sets the framework for who I am, what I do on a regular basis, and what GroovePages, what GrooveSell is, and we'll dive into it here in a little bit. I do have a challenge for you, and the challenge is take what we learned and go through today and go create a quick opt-in page. You're going to see how simple this stuff is. Go create one and share it. And guess what? The first one you do is going to suck. Second one you're going to do is going to suck a little less. Third one's going to suck a little less, etc. And it's going to get better and better and better as you go. It depends on where you are in the spectrum. Like, I will say this, people do judge a book by its cover. So if you're new and you're going with cold traffic, the first thing to get and keep people's attention is something that's pleasant looking, something that's going to make them feel comfortable, make them feel warm, welcome, and feel like they're in the presence of something they're going to want to learn from. I'm saying that because most of my sites don't do that, because I don't give a crap, because I don't go to the cold traffic. I go to people that already know me. So mine are kind of like Dan Kennedy training. Dan Kennedy's like, don't create a book, create a 3-ring binder, because books have price points in people's minds, $14.99, $19.99, less than $20, they can buy a book. And if you go to try to sell a book for $1,000, it's too much of a disconnect of what people are used to having a book being priced at. Yet a 3-ring binder with your trade secrets, that's a whole different situation. Nobody has a 3-ring binder in the bookstores, the physical bookstores. Remember those? And or Amazon. But you as the expert can have a 3-ring binder with a printed black and white sheet that says, blah, 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 a brief little thing, and sell it for $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, because you're taking your decades of knowledge and wisdom and transplanting it into only a few select people are going to get access to this, because it's not going to be for the masses. This is only for the elite. So I don't give a crap. Mine look like, I don't care. I actually make them look crappy, because I want to get rid of the people who don't know me, and I only bring in the people who already know, like, and trust me. So I'm a different type of person in that regard, because I'm not the big advertiser spending on cold traffic. And I will say, like, we've all been there when you click on something of an ad and you get to a site and it just isn't appealing. So I'm saying that because they do judge a book by its cover. But on the flip side, done is better than perfect and not done. So make this little note, and I'd probably encourage you to keep it into a corner of your desk somewhere that you look at regularly. Imperfect action always beats perfect inaction. And that's one way of saying done is better than perfect and not done. It's never going to be perfect. So you don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going, is another way to say that. So I'm saying, you have to not go too slow to get to the perfection, and not go too fast where it's at a D- instead of maybe a C+ or a B-, if that all makes sense. All right. So here we go. I thought people in junior high were old when I was in elementary school. I feel you, Jackie. Yes. From Vanuatu. I don't know where Vanuatu is, but it sounds pretty exotic. Happy birthday. Thank you, Matilda. So getting back to this challenge. So if you haven't created an opt-in page or a sales page, I would encourage you to create one that goes in that category of those quotes that I mentioned. Done is better than perfectly not done. Imperfect action always beats perfect inaction. And or the other one is you don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going. So get it at that C+ level, B- level, and get something done that has, it's published and you have a URL that you can say, hey, go here. And you'll have a headline, you'll have bullet points, you possibly have a video, whatever it takes to reach that audience and have them say, holy cow, that person is sharing something that I want. Of course, I'm going to give my email. I'm willing to spend some money on this, but I'm more than happy to give my email address to get the promises that they're telling me are available just by entering my name and email. So get it done. And when you do, post it in here on Tuesday. So if you have one done that we haven't looked at yet, post it into the comments. As we come to the tail end of the training, the end of the toilet paper roll per this conversation, David will shoot me over the URLs of your pages and we'll take a look at it. We'll give you some insights. And I would just encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and create an opt-in page. And I'm going to give you an example that's real simple, real short, simple, concise. But remember, it's going to be something for me, which I don't give a crap about looking good. This shirt, and my fiance kind of yells at me on occasion because underneath this shirt is a white t-shirt. That's what I was wearing right before we went live. I'm only wearing this shirt for you, ladies and gentlemen. Around here, when I'm working, it's a white or black t-shirt, period. And I have a whole nice closet of stuff, but I don't use that. I use the normal white or black t-shirt. But people judge a book by its cover. So for y'all, I put this on so that y'all don't see me as what's up with the white t-shirt, any of that stuff. And there's a point, there's a part of me that's like, screw that. I don't care. I'm doing the white t-shirt anyhow. But I know there's people coming into this world, which are different from my normal world, or people already know me. So people judge a book by its cover. So I make sure my hair is pushed over. I make sure I got the nice collared shirt on, etc. So that for people that are crossing paths with me right away that have no freaking clue who I am, they're like, I get it. Okay, he's got my attention enough. Is he going to keep me interested for me to stick around long enough? Because guess what? Some people will get in and bounce. And they'll do that with all your stuff too. So that's kind of why I did the training in the beginning, because it's true. Groove family is growing so big, so quickly. I had to give the preface, and wearing a shirt and just sharing some information right off the bat, because there's a lot of you who this is your first time. So this is an unusual engagement for those first time users for me, because I've been in the game for a long time. I worked with Mike Filsame side by side from 2006 to 2011. We put on live events. We put on numerous $1 million product launches together. Hundreds of thousands of people opted into our lists. We sold $20+ million worth of sales in that time frame, and people knew who the heck we were. But in this day and age, that's forever ago. So the other rule is this: never assume anybody knows who the heck you are. Think about that. So even though I framed it, when I do my stuff, I really don't give a crap about having the appearance. Like, people either know me or they don't. And if they don't know me, they're going to get to know me real quick, and they're either know, like, and trust me and stick around, or they'll fall into the category that you'll want to embrace as well. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. SW4, write that down. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. When you know your stuff and you step into being that person who recognizes, for these people, I've got the goods. They'll want what I have, and whether they know me or not, when they hear me speak, they'll see I know what the heck I'm talking about. I've got value for them. They're going to recognize that. They're going to stick around. They're going to benefit from it. And the bottom line is, some are going to like you, some aren't. So what? Keep being you. Someone else is waiting. All right. So let me take a look, see what we got here. Ditto. All right. Happy birthday from the Philippines. Great. Matilda, you're welcome. South Pacific Islands. Awesome. I've been to Fiji. I've been to Tony Robbins Island out in Namali in Fiji. It was amazingly beautiful. Let's see here. Happy birthday from the Philippines. My roll of TP only has a few sheets left. That's fantastic. I did from the Philippines. I do see you as Facebook users. So go back and go to StreamYard.com/Facebook for me. Do it one time and I'll see you all the other times. Since hearing this, I've moved on to create pages rather than wait till it's perfect. Gary, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That's let me see if I can do this. Can I bring that? How do I do that? I don't know how to, oh, there we go. Perfect. I don't know if I did that or David did it. I think he did it. But that's a great lesson for you all to learn from Gary as to what he said there. He's moved on to create pages rather than wait till it's perfect. I would encourage you to do the same. Guess what? Get out of your comfort zone. And when I show you my pages, like, and yes, I had the backstory. I'm not out there trying to take people in most cases, I really don't have to put on my best, I'm just me, right? And that's from being in the industry for so long. And most people know me or don't, but I really don't give a crap. And I wouldn't encourage, I'm not encouraging that for you to embrace that yet. But when you get to a certain stage, it's like, look, some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. They're either going to like me or not. And I don't care either way. If they don't, they're missing out. I know that. Like, hey, I'm not sure what rubbed them the wrong way, but too bad because they're missing out. There's nobody that can bring it like I can. So, I feel bad, but other people are there, and I'm gonna step up and be there for them. And that's just it. So when you get that and you're just comfortable in your own skin, you're willing to step out of your comfort zone. You're willing to not wait till it's perfect and just go for it. Let's see what we got here. This morning I meditated, release procrastination. There you go. Release procrastination and perfection. That's right. A lot of people deal with this. And guess what? I said I worked with Mike. I've worked with many other of the most well-respected names in the industry. And this is not common to just us. It's them as well. The super successful, the ones that done millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions and more, also fall into one of those two categories. Either they're rushing it out too quick when it's a D- and they need to wait till it's a C+ or a B-, or they're waiting too long until they're trying to get to the A+ when it's been ready for 6 months. Just get it out there. By you waiting, it's preventing the people from benefiting from your knowledge, your wisdom, your products, your services. And we'll touch on that here in a little bit as well. Dean, perception is everything. I learned the hard way. School of Hard Knocks. Yeah, right. So don't follow the part about like, I just don't give a crap. I'm going to be me. And people to a degree, I would say get to a point where that's you just embrace you and are fully you, not trying to be anything but you. But at the same time, recognize people do judge a book by a cover. So like for me, it's like, yeah, I don't feel like putting the shirt on, but I'm going to, because I know the benefits that I have to share. I don't want anyone to turn off or tune out because of something as minuscule as that. So I'll suck it up and put a darn shirt on for their benefit, because I don't want anyone just seeing the t-shirt. Oh, who's this person in a t-shirt? I'm out of here. All right. So follow along on this. But in my world, in my personal mentorship, I mean, I got people that pay me thousands per month. And when we meet, I'm in my t-shirt because they know who I am and they don't give a crap. Just like the whole book story and the 3-ring binder story, like the people know the values there and they don't care how I look showing up. I could not have my hair done or whatever. It doesn't matter. All right. It's like my hair is hard to do. Right. Gary, it's good to see a fellow Londoner. It's also great to see you're making progress. Oh, Paul is here from London. Awesome. Matilda, I remember you guys from that time. I bought Mark Joyner's package back then. Yes. Okay, great. Very good. So a long time, been on the journey for a long time. I love to hear that. That's fantastic. Sarah, great mantra and so true. Darcy, SW4, some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Yes. That's a great one as well. Let me see if I can do this, or if you can put that one up as well. Some will from Darcy. There we go. So that's another one you might want to have in your presence somewhere. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. It's a very good mantra to memorize And it's also great to recognize that's the upside. The downside is there's going to be haters for whatever reason. They're having a bad, I mean, let's be honest. There's some stuff happening right now that has some people in some rough spots. This whole scenario worldwide has shaken a lot of people out of consistency and normalcy into inconsistency and uncertainty. And in many cases, they've been hurt financially, sometimes physically, and sometimes relationally through all this stuff. So in doing that, and in you being someone committed to step out and be you and share your message, your product, your service, and your message, there will be a small amount of people that for whatever reason, bad day, life's just not treating them that right, and they're bringing it out on you. And so when you recognize that, some will, some won't, so what, someone's waiting, there's going to be that small percentage of people who are just going to pour on the hate. And I'll tell you this from personal experience, it sucks. Like, there's no way to sugarcoat it. It's not fun. It sucks. It hurts. And if you're like, I'm a hardcore Marine and discipline and all this, but I care. I'm empathetic and I give my all. And it's like, wait a minute. How could someone say that? How could they attack me in a mean way? Like, I just don't get it. But you have to come to peace with that's just part of the percentages. There's going to be that. So you have to think of it. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. On the good aspect of like, look, it's my job to step up and put it out there because I know these people who are in my niche are going to benefit from my products, my service, my wisdom, my guidance. And if I don't put it out there, they're going to suffer. But if I do step up and I do put it out there, there's going to be a small percentage of people that are going to pour on some hate, and it's going to hurt, and it can be taken personally at times. And you just have to put the blinders on and recognize, hey, on the flip side, some will, most won't. And keep pressing forward. And the other hint to that is pay zero attention to it. Don't get into the back and forth. You can't win that. What's the whole thing? Like, I forgot the quote, but it's something like, when you try to fight with an idiot, you're now the idiot. Like, when you fight with that hater, there's no winning. Like, so pay zero attention and go back to this great resource. I'll share this with you all. Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. The strangest secret in the world is this, from that video that Earl Nightingale has on YouTube. Go to YouTube and search Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. We become what we think about most of the time. Now, it's not we become what we think about sometimes and sometimes we don't. We become what we think about most of the time, meaning what are you thinking about most of the time? And if you're thinking about what you want, if you're thinking about the desired outcome, if you're thinking about that goal that you're on path to, if that's what you're thinking about most of the time, that's what we become. But if you're allowing these distractions to pull you off and you're focusing on problems and you're focusing on difficulties and you're focusing on, all the other stuff except the desired outcomes, you're getting that. Wayne Dyer talks about that a lot too. It's like you have a shopping cart, and you're like, you get what you want, but you get what you give your attention to. So if you're getting attention that happens to be from that hater, you're like, oh crap, I hate that hater. Boom, that hater gets in your shopping cart. You get more of the hating. Like, what? Oh, let me fight with them more. Let me argue and prove my point. No, it gets more. So what you give attention to grows. Give your full attention and focus on the desired outcome, that end outcome that you are looking forward to achieving, your goal. And there's a whole bunch of trainings and lessons on YouTube and all sorts of courses and programs on how to get the goal setting to work. But that essence from Earl Nightingale, Strangest Secret, is so true. If you haven't recognized that in your life, I would have you reflect on it and think about, we become what we think about most of the time. What am I thinking about most of the time? And guess what? In today's age of all this stuff happening, what are the masses thinking about? What are they thinking about? What the media is telling them, which is fear, which is worry, which is death, which is illness. And, if that's what people are focused on, they're getting more of that. I don't have time for that. I got goals I'm after. I'm not letting the winds of today push me in my boat. I'm setting my sail accordingly to still get to the desired outcome that I have set. So think about that. I don't know if that video, whether Nightingale talks about it, or that's a Jim Rohn talking about the set of the sail. But look, we're all on a journey. And if you aren't clear about where you are and where you're going, the winds are going to push you elsewhere. Yet when you know how to, and I don't know how, by the way, to navigate a sailboat, but I do understand the analogy where the winds are going to happen regardless of what the destination is, but you can set the sail accordingly to use the winds to still get you there without getting off track to a massive level or degree. So remember, don't focus on any of the negativity. Focus on what you want, and take that for what it is, and apply it in your life, apply it in your business, apply it in your opt-in form creation, your sales page creation, your product creation, and rock and roll with that. Celeste, you're speaking my language. All right. What? Not everybody likes me, Christine? Yeah, exactly. I felt that. You felt that. Anybody who has the courage to step out there and do it, it's like, what? How can they be saying this? I signed up yesterday, Matilda, and have always tried to be perfect. So I'll join Gary Knight in being perfectly imperfect. Yes, that's the way to be. I am perfectly imperfect. You are perfectly imperfect, and that's okay. And the more that you can actually be vulnerable and not go the old way, which, hey, I'm on stage, so I must be perfect. No. Look, I'm good at these things, not so great at the others, but guess what? I'm not going to train you on the stuff I'm not great at. I'm going to train you on the stuff I'm elite at. I am the best at this, and that's what I'm going to train you on. Why don't you talk about GrooveFunnels? Just do all. Well, just do all. Thanks for joining 29 minutes late, and welcome to the party, my friend. Let's see here. Christine. All right, here we go. Also, some haters are just drunk when they comment crap. That's true. Just do all. That is true. And you never know what's going on. So just don't pay any attention and just focus on what the desired outcome is. 100%. Joanne, Steve Jobs wore the same black t-shirt, jeans every day to conserve brain power. Yes. He had more important decisions to make. A good lesson for people is not judge a book by its cover. You can miss a lot. Yes. And that's true, Joanne. But remember, people do judge a book by its cover. So it's always good to not judge a book by its cover, but at the same time, remember, people do. And, so kind of walk that thin line in your journey. Cheyenne, that's very true. Just do all. Thanks for the answer. Great. So stick around. We are jumping into some training here shortly that's specific to GroovePages and GrooveSell. This is training on the mindset, the marketing, and the actual doing inside GroovePages and GrooveSell. So let me jump over to the next slide. So if you have created a page since last week, go ahead and share it in the comments. At the end, I'll look into the private chat. David will shoot me over the ones that have submitted that. And then today's training is finish the final 100 days of 2020 strongly. So here on my 48th birthday, I shared some insights that are mindset related as to what it takes for you to be fully you. And in some cases, be the fully you as that expert, but also vulnerable. Also sharing in a way that goes along these lines, that your challenges and the issues and the problems that you've overcome can be the lessons that really get people into your world. So it's having that discernment of knowing how to tell your story in a manner. If you are, the product, if you are the person that's the expert, in the manner that's going to go through those 4 steps we talked about earlier: attention, interest, desire, action. Get their attention, gain their interest, have them desirous of the promises you're making, and taking the action, whether that's to opt in or to purchase your product. Davey, I kept missing your lives and had to watch the replay until today. Big fan of your tutorials. Saw you with Rich Sheffrin. Great people, know great people. Yeah, it was president of Strategic Profits with Rich Sheffrin. So Rich is an amazing marketer and man as well. So honored to have worked with him for several years. All right. Thank you, Davey. So I'm going to jump now over to the app. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen. I'm going to share my full screen, entire screen, and voila, we are there. Oops, not yet. Once I see that the share is happening, David, what do I do? I think it's there. Okay, there we are. Now it's doing that crazy thing. I'm going to jump over here. I'm going to go to app. GrooveFunnels.com. So this is where you access your Groove Pages and your GrooveSell. So once you log in, we're going to start by jumping into Groove Pages, and then we'll jump over to GrooveSell. So it's going to ask you to log in if you haven't logged in already. And that's just simply entering your email and your passcode. Once you're in and you're in Groove Pages, you won't see all this stuff. These are the pages that I've created, many as examples, and many that are actually being used live on some URLs and some opt-in pages and some sales pages. But let me give you a brief welcome on how to maneuver in Groove Pages real quickly. It's real simple. So the first time you get in here, you're going to want to go over to the right-hand corner here. You see those three lines on top of each other, the pancake. You click on that. You go to My Integrations. You can see you won't see these here if you haven't integrated anything, but I've already integrated my Aweber account and my Active Campaign account. And this is for my opt-in pages and also for connecting sales pages and things like that. You want to have it integrated. If you haven't integrated yet, you simply go over to the Add button. You pick the integration type. Active Campaign, Aweber, Campaign Monitor, Web Form, Get Response, GoToWebinar, Lead Lovers, MailChimp, Mautic, Perkzilla, Product Dino, Webinar Jam, or Zapier. Zapier would be kind of the catch-all if yours isn't listed there. And follow the steps and integrate your autoresponder service. Once that's done, you'll be able to, when you create your pages, bring in whatever ones you have integrated. The numerous lists in each of those that you integrate are now able to be connected to any of the opt-in pages or sales pages that you create. So that's the quick and down and dirty of integration. Once you've done the integration, the next thing you'd want to do is click below that is click on New Site. And this little image pops up. You don't want to click on blank template. I wouldn't recommend that. That's where starting from scratch, pretty much a clean slate. You can build things from scratch if you are a designer, if you are that graphically inclined person. We do have a couple people here on a regular basis that join us that are graphically inclined, and they do start from the blank template. Me, I like to choose from the templates. So you simply go below that, you click on templates, and you're going to see a whole wide variety of templates. And from a quick, slow scan, you'll be able to see visually from the brief preview here, which ones catch your eye and feel like that's the right fit for the task at hand. And as you see, there's a wide variety: webinar registration, order confirmation, upsell, VSL, which is video sales letter, a simple landing page, ebook landing page, Groove event template, so a live event template, scheduling an appointment, a VSL, video sales letter, free website webinar opt-in, webinar template, live webinar. So you have a whole bunch of different obvious headlines here that give you an idea of what it's a template of. But you also can keep in mind, as we scroll down, you'll see more niche specific. You can change every aspect on any of the pages real simply, real quickly, real easily. And we'll get into some of that here in a second. So a newsletter sign up. So you just want to do a quick scan. And the cool part is, as you're doing your quick scan, when you hover over any of them, you can click on preview. And when you click on preview, it's going to pop, not down like that. I clicked the wrong button. It's going to pop up. And here is a preview. Nothing is going to be manipulatable on the preview. This is just showing you an example of what that page looks like as is. And obviously from you doing that, when you scroll around, like that one here, booking template, as you saw, it integrates with some Calendly, like so any of your calendar scheduling appointment stuff. So if you're looking for a book appointment page, this might be more on a thank you page type of aspect. And we'll get to that in a little bit, this particular one. But as you're looking for your opt-in or your sales page, you scroll down and you take a gander, and the ones that intrigue you, supplement landing page, yoga challenge landing page, event registration landing page, all this stuff is here. Now we get to niche specific, right? So remember, the real estate lead generation, you know what? I like that template, but I'm not in real estate. So you can I'll preview it just to show you. And then when you choose the other option, not to preview it, but to go in and edit it, and you choose it, you can modify everything on here. You can modify the background image, all the text, all the different things that you see on this page is 100% modifiable. And you're like, you know what? I like this. And I just switch out a few images, change the text, And sure, it starts off as a real estate template, but I've modified it to whatever niche I personally am in. So keep that in mind as you're scrolling. So we scroll around and you see a whole bunch of different ones, and you'll want to continually go in and scroll because on a regular basis, there's new templates. I believe they're added every Friday. So scroll in and see what the new templates are. Lead generation form, webinar opt-in, yoga template, health and fitness sign up, Groove affiliate lead magnet. Wow, look at that. I think that one is new from I never remember this one. Get the Groove affiliate marketing kit. Look at this. Wow, this is pretty darn cool. So anyhow, you got a ton of different possibilities in here. And it's up to you to scroll and see which one meets the goal that you have in mind and has the nice look that you are thinking is a good starting point. And I say good starting point because everything is modifiable. So go in here on a regular basis, scroll through and take a look to see which one you feel is the right beginning look for you to start with. And so this is pretty darn cool. Yeah, they did add some other ones. High ticket sales, thank you page, right? So there's a lot, high ticket sales, booking page, chiropractor thank you page. So go in there, take a look, and find the one that you feel is the right fit for you. And I'm just going to scroll up and show you a couple things. I like to go simple, and I always get a kick out of that one. Lucius made that as a candidate. So someone running for office, he picked some of my pictures. That just gives me a laugh every time. So I'm going to give you a real basic one. Like this one is my pretty much go-to because it's just simple and easy. And I'm going to preview this one to make sure that's the right one. Preview. That's a longer one. Okay. And this one, VSL purple, select. I'm just going to do this one. Okay. So this here is a pretty standard one, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff here that I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to modify it. So when you first get in, it's going to have the name. So if you picked real estate opt-in page, whatever, that's going to be the name here. So the first thing you want to do is go here to pages. And when you see it, that's going to be the name that was on the preview of what that template was. So then you want to go to the little three buttons there, go to edit settings, and you change it. You like birthday example. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And if you want, you can go into the page title, Tom's birthday training, right? And you could go to keywords and description, all this stuff. Now, here's a part here that's going to be important later. This is where you'd put your code for your tracking. And then when you go to GrooveSell, it's going to, at the end of you creating your product, it's going to give you some tracking code, and it's going to tell you to put it in the body area. So you copy the code that you're going to get in GrooveSell, and you come back over here, go to pages, you go to edits, and you paste that in here. We're going to go do that in a little bit, and I'll show you, but I'm jumping ahead of myself. You could put open graph, social share settings. You'd want to put an image there for if people share your site on social media, this would pull that image in. So all that stuff is there available for you, but you see, we automatically change the title there. Now, another thing is, we're only going to show one page here today, but if I wanted to add another page, it's as simple as clicking the add page. You could start from this canvas, or you could use a template, or you could do the URL importer. We'll get to that on probably next week's topic, but let's just go where use templates. And if you want, you can use the same template, or you could pick anything. Like, listen, you know what? I need to have an appointment page on this. I'm going to select that. So now we go back to pages. There's page 2, same thing. You go and you rename it, schedule appointment, right? So this is the simple starting points that when you do it, sets you up for the proper creation of your page. And if you go edit settings, once again, you could name it schedule. So it's going to be /schedule on the page there. You could schedule appointment. and do the same stuff. It's all here, right? So click there. Now, the other neat part is if you wanted to not have that visible, like if you had on this page, if you end up having some type of navigation, you can add different pages that are going to be hidden. So even if you have navigation on your main page, the hidden pages aren't going to show on the navigation. For the example we're going to do today, I wouldn't recommend navigation because we're going to have actually a call to action. But the page could actually be important because that could end up being a thank you page. After people take action, congratulations, choose your day. Now you import your calendar scheduling service. Calendly is a good one, or others, and that would go there. So let's jump back. So now we're at this, the first page that we chose, which was the template, and you can modify all this stuff. So real quickly, I'm pretty much only going to show you, I'm going to replace the video. I'm going to have a call to action button, and I'm going to get rid of pretty much everything else below this. And so all you have to do is delete the different different parts of it. And I deleted that as seen as. I could keep this stuff, and I could add that. I'm going to get rid of this one. Whoops. View actual size. I'm going to get rid of this one. And I click this up button, and you see now it's got the whole thing there. I'm going to delete the whole thing. I'm going to do that on this one as well. Up. It's red all around there. I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to delete this. Whoops. Delete. I'm going to delete that. Okay. And I'm going to delete this. All right. So I just deleted all that. Now, this is pretty much, okay, I've cleaned out the stuff I don't want, and now the rest is just pretty much modifying. If there was something that I wanted to keep, I have the back button. I could go back. That's going to add that last part in there. I could go back again. It's going to add that. I go back again, back again, back again. You get the picture. Oh, you know what? I don't want all that. I'm going to go forward, 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 forward. All right, I'm back to where I want it. So your back and forward buttons are very helpful. So I highly recommend you use those. So let's just use a brief little thing. So my 48th birthday. Great idea. Haven't ran in years until this morning. Join me. Right. So funny story. This morning was my 48th birthday. True story. I haven't ran in years. I woke up pre-sunrise here in South Florida and had this just like, you know what? Why don't you run? Because I normally walk to the beach. It's about 1.8 miles. Why don't you run this morning? Great idea, right? 48th birthday. Haven't run in years. What a perfect idea to run 1.8 miles for a way to kick off my birthday. So I got up out of bed. I just put some running shorts on, didn't put a t-shirt on, put socks, my sneakers on, and didn't even put headphones in because nowadays the daggum headphones pop out of the ears. I have other ones that are hidden somewhere that I have to find that stick because my AirPods fall out all the daggum time. So I need to remedy that if I'm going to get back into running. So real quick story. Like this is true. My 48th birthday, great idea. Haven't ran in years until this morning. Join me. So I run, and about 1.5 miles of the 1.8, my mind, guess what my mind's trying to tell me to do? Stop freaking running. Like, what are you, stupid? You're 48. You don't need to be running. What are you doing? Stop running. So instead of stopping running, I had my phone in my hand because I knew when I got to the beach, I wanted to record a birthday message. And so while I was running, I opened up Facebook and went live and running. And I've run for the first time in years. I'm going live on Facebook running. And I also realized that my phone is set up where if you shake it, is there a problem? And so running, I was shaking it and it kept doing that issue. So I had some learning experience on this morning's run, but I did continue to run. I didn't stop once. I didn't stop once on the whole way, 1.7, almost 1.8 miles. Did slow down a little bit so I didn't trip or fall over, but didn't stop while I went live real quickly and did the last part of the run kind of motivationally so that I wouldn't stop. And secondly, to inspire people. And then that's what I did. And then when I got to the beach, I'm huffing and puffing. I had one friend, actually Jeff Walker, Product Launch Formula. His brother John Walker made a comment on happy birthday, and he's like, "Hey, that was a great morning run." He's like, and I showed my watch. I actually had a pace, like decent pace, and in order to talk and all that, he's like, plus the heavy breathing was kind of a turn on, a joke, right? So that was a funny post. So there is some huffing and puffing. But you have to remember, I haven't ran in years. And he said it was kind of impressive that you were able to talk while you're running. And it was inspiring. So I uploaded, so it was live. I saved it to my phone and then I uploaded it to YouTube. So I'm going to go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tom Beal. And I'm going to not play that one. I'm going to go to videos. And here it is. 13 views. So I haven't emailed it. After this, so there's the huffing and puffing. And remember, I'm at the point where I really don't give a crap. I'll tell you this. If you're wanting to post things to YouTube, generally you'd want the video sideways and take up the whole thing. And some people are like, how dare you put videos up sideways? I don't care. Like, I did it live on Facebook, and that's how Facebook does it. And I multi-purpose it and I upload it to YouTube. If you don't like it, all right, you're going to miss the valuable messages being shared in it. That's fine with me. But I would recommend, if you're just starting out, to use the proper fitting video in YouTube. Me, I really don't care. For me and my audience, they get the message. They love the message. All right. So basically what I'm copying is after the V equals, that's going to link inside GroovePages to this video. Watch how this works. So now we go back over to that page. I click on that video in this box over here. I go to configure. I replace that with that and I hit update. Voila, there it is. And thank you, Facebook, for making it, more pleasurable to see than the Edge. They do some tricks to make my lack of following their rules not as inconvenient for their users, right? So anyhow, so it's congruent here, right? So I have the pre-headline, I have the headline, it's my 48th birthday, blah, blah, blah. Not the most compelling headlines, but remember, this isn't going out to people that don't know me. I'll be emailing this to my list after today's training. So remember, you get your opt-in list. Next step is to communicate with that list. Now, for years, I communicate with my list on a daily basis. And I don't know if it's just me. I personally got burnt out on it. Like, we made a lot of great results by emailing daily, but it's kind of one of those things that works so well, I stopped doing it. And what I mean is, it works so well that we now got someone else to do it. So in my own personal list, I also would recommend you email daily. For me, I recommend I email daily, but I don't. I break the rule, and it costs me significantly, because if I were to do that and step up and take a little action, and that could even be getting someone in place to do it for me in my own personal email list, I don't, and it's costing me dearly. But I communicate in the channels that I do. So I do a lot of social media, and my people follow me there. But if I were to follow my own medicine and go back to the recipe that worked, emailing daily is the key. So I'm telling each and every one of you, the best way to grow the relationship with your lists and the best way to monetize those lists is to email daily. And Ben Settle is great at teaching people how to do that. I know when people first hear that, well, geez, isn't that too much? That's, what am I going to write about? I did it for years in a row, daily. And yes, it takes brain power. Yes, it takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of strategy, takes a little bit of implementation, but the payoff is so huge. And think about this. In relationships, let's say you're married, let's say you're in a significant relationship. Would you say it's good to communicate with your significant other every week or two? Or do you think it's better daily? Right? So think about it. How strong of a relationship would you have if you only spoke with your significant other when you felt like it? Or, I talk with them once a week or once every 2 weeks. It's not going to be so solid. Same thing, different level of relationship, but same principle. The more time you give to the relationship, with consistency, the more those people get to know, like, trust you and rely on you and count on you, to the point where when you miss a day, they'll be like, what? I hope everything's okay. Hey, is everything okay? What happened? Because you've been so consistent that you mailed every day for years. It's totally unusual for you to not mail. So growing your list is one thing, communicating with your list is another. Remember, I did this live. So there was a lot of people that joined me live. There's a lot of people that join me in my Facebook page, on my Facebook profile, Instagram, etc. And that's kind of the easier way for me. And now this one was pretty good. So I'm going to send it to my email list. So this page that we're creating here, not the most intriguing headline, not the prettiest page, but I'm sending it to my email list. Now, here's the key. I'm going to have a call to action. Call to action is going to lead to the page that we built last week, right? Which is a new group coaching program that I created. And so it's called My Platoon, which I talk about in this video. And so I'm going to put here, learn more about in circle. What am I going to say inner circle? About My Platoon. Here. And I'm going to link it to a URL, and I'm going to put myplatoon.com. Open a new tab, and I'm doing that because it's kind of a longer video, and if they click on it, I don't want them to miss out. I want them to still hear what's going on in this video. So I'm going to open that new tab. I'm going to click update, and there you have it. Now, let's see. I want that to be all in one button. You see, all I did was drag that, right? This is how simple it is. Like, you see how it was all like, oh, yeah, that kind of looks odd. I want it to be on one button. So there we go. Learn more about My Platoon here. And then, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff as well for this particular goal, which is an unusual situation, but that's the beauty of Groove pages. It can fit any of your unique situations. So I'm going to delete that. Empty container, delete that. And there we go. And you know what? It's going to my email list. I don't even need any of this stuff. It's not going, that's where you would put, copyright, your legal disclaimers and all that. This is going to my warm market. And guess what? The warm market through the email, if they don't like what I have to say, they can click the unsubscribe. This is real simple, just value with a call to action to go learn more about My Platoon. Boom. Simple, quick, easy. And there's how it gets. Now, if I want to make that button a different color, it's just right here, background. I can make that any color that I want. That kind of stands out a little more, so I'll use that. And there we have it. So now all I'm going to do is go to publish. I'm going to host the site with us, and I'm going to put 48. That's it, 48. Publish. Obviously 48 for my 48th birthday. And there we have it. So now the URL is tombeal.groovepages.com/48. So you right now, all over the world, could take that URL, type it in, and you'd go to it. And I can click on it, but I'm also going to copy it and paste it. So I'm going to copy link address. I'm going to click on it. And here you have it. It's live, ladies and gentlemen. As simple as that. So the goal, the huffing and puffing, and I go into a 21-minute talk about life and about the lessons I've learned at 48 years old, and a lot of the stuff we covered in possibly in the beginning of today's chat, you and I here. But there's value in this 21 minutes. I'm emailing it to my list. They already know, like, and trust me. This isn't going out to cold traffic. And if they missed it live, they're now going to be able to see it. And whether or not they watch it all, they'll be able to click here. And when they click here, it opens a new page. And that one's opened up the wrong one. I need to fix that. What is going on? Oh, you know what? Let me open up another one. Something is weird here. Why is that doing it? All right, so I need to fix that. So what I'm going to do now, okay, because I changed this to go. All right, I'll show you what I did. Check this. Maybe because I messed around with it too much. So here's what I'm going to do. This is saved. I'm going to leave this page. I'm going to go down. Oops, I'm going to go to GroovePages. I'm going to go to that page, which is this, open editor. I'm going to go to the publish. Oops. I'm going to copy that link address. Because I didn't do this. Okay. Son of a gun. That's what I forgot to do. See, so it's always good to check. So I'm going to use this as the redirect. I thought I transferred it, and I did, but it takes a little while to propagate, and I undid it, and I got confused. So this is why you always want to test stuff. So anyhow, I copy and paste this link. So when I click this link, this is the real page. So I'm going to go now back to the other one that we just created. And see, that's why you always want to test everything, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so when you use the other option, which we'll get to in a second, it takes a little while to propagate, meaning when you set it all up with your domain name, My Platoon, and you click that option here, it can take up to 24 hours to make that transfer. So I turned it on, it wasn't working, so I turned it off, and that's where my confusion was. So now, instead of going to the URL that I shared, I'm going to go to here. Click update and publish. All right, so now once that's done, it's going to show the little thing here. That's done. I'm going to click on it here. So once I watch the video, learn more about My Platoon here. And what is going on there? So now I'm confused. I don't know if that's I'm going to copy that link. I'm going to open a different browser. I'm going to paste this. Oh, you know what? Aha. Now I know what that is. I had done an example, and I used that same URL for a different page that I created. Let's test this out. As you can tell, we're live here. So now what I'm going to do is this. We go to the publish options, My Platoon 2. Okay, let's see if that does it. GroovePages. If this doesn't do it, I'm going to call in the expert, David, and have him fill me in on what the heck I'm doing. So here we go. So I'm going to go to here and My Platoon 2, update, and publish. Click on this. Click on this. Ah! All right, David, what am I doing wrong? That one has me stymied. I don't know what I did there.
What is the button going to? What is the link that is set up to go?
So this button was from the other page inside of GroovePages, which is this link. So My Platoon 2. TomBeal.groovepages.com/MyPlatoon2. So it might be some cache stuff on my browser.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. So I'm gonna send this to you in Skype. You click on it and let me know.
You can just open it in an incognito window.
Okay, all right.
Just test it out.
New incognito.
Yeah.
So it might be cached. Yep, and that's exactly it. It was cached on my computer. Okay, so in order to uncache, what would I have to do? Clear my cookies?
Yeah, you can close this incognito window.
Mhm.
And basically, this is something I recommend to do to everybody, to right click anywhere on the page,
Mhm.
go down to inspect,
Yep.
and then hover over the refresh button, click it and hold, and then empty cache and hard reload, the last one.
Okay.
Okay, this one, then you log out, you log back in, and then it's fine.
Gotcha. Right. And that's that. I remember this now. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, why I always love having David on, because no matter how many times you do it, sometimes you get caught in this loop. You're like, wait a minute, something doesn't make sense. And you heard, I figured, like, it's a process of elimination. So then you heard me say it right as I asked David, like, it might be cached on my computer. So your pages who hadn't had anything, you hadn't been to any pages, would have went to the right page. Mine already had stuff cached for faster loading and things like that. So now that I cleared it, it might have me re-log in. Let's check this out.
So you need to just log out manually, and then
Okay.
there is Matt Brown saying you can use Control F5. This is a way to do empty cache, but we are also reloading the platform. We are starting Groove Pages from scratch, like just loading in the new code, so that if this is a caching issue on the server of Groove Pages, so that it doesn't happen anymore. So yeah,
Gotcha.
this is the empty cache and hard reload what we did.
Perfect. So very good. So now, and then the other trick was go to new incognito window. So if I go to my other URL, which, like I said, I turned it off of the cache, or I'm sorry, I turned it off of, okay, now, because I changed it. See, now I changed it due to the other problem, and that caused another problem. So I got to go back and change it, take the 2 off, and then it will work. See, and this is why you always want to use that process of elimination. So now I'm going to go back here, open editor. I'm going to take the 2 off because I mistook that as the reason. And I clicked the wrong button there. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take the 2 off. Now that will fix that problem. So now if I go to the new, so hopefully you're following along with me. Give me a yes if you're following, type a yes if you're following along with me. This can be confusing. There it is. All right. So now
You need
it'll
to just press it. Yeah, refresh. That's fine. Yeah.
Yep. So I thought this was the problem, so I changed that, and then once we figured out the real problem, I had to go back and fix this. So got a little confusing, but I think y'all are smart enough to stick with me. Let me go check and see what the comments are in StreamYard. David Lemon is the man. Yes. So yes, Sheila. Yes. The joy of live training, Sarah. Yes. Didn't click save. I clicked publish, which is the same. It does the same thing. Live and did not die in the process. Yes. Davey, so great. Dean, yes, you'll feel it tomorrow. That's the run. Yes. I actually went actually prior to us meeting here today, I went to I have a local health place I go to that has the cryotherapy. So I also went into the minus 200 degrees cold for 3 minutes, and that hopefully helps as well. Anyhow, so you saw how this all works, and I'm glad. And here's another part that I'm glad that you got to witness that, because guess what? There's going to be some things that are confusing, and there's going to be some things that make you think like, wait a minute, I thought I did that right. What am I missing? And so the good news is, and this is what I talk about on a regular basis when we're here together every Tuesday. David thankfully fills me in on new tricks and new updates and things like that. So I get kind of some scoop, but he also does that on a resource that you're going to gain access to here shortly, to give you insights, to keep you updated as to how the new things are working and how you can use them for your benefit. But here's the bottom line. This is all still new. So whether you've used other services, this is new, and it's got its own interface, and it's going to have a learning curve. So you saw I didn't have the urge to flip my computer over or flip the desk over. Right back a few years ago, I think there are some casualty computers that were injured in my lack of emotional control. But I've since come to recognize this fact. Look, when you start doing anything, you're not going to be the greatest at it. So the best recommendation I can give you is expect challenges. Go into this with a clear mindset of like, you know what? I'm going in to create an opt-in page for this particular thing. I know here's the target audience. Here's what's the conversation going on in their mind. I have some ideas of what some headlines can be, some bullet points. I have the images that I have in mind I want to use, etc. before I go in. And then get in there and you say, you know what, there's probably going to be some challenges I'm going to face, but I'll figure it out and I'll move one step at a time. So don't let this stress you out. It's good enough. Like this level, like Groove is functional to have live pages, to have live opt-ins, to have live sales pages, and connect with GrooveSell in the sales page scenario. And it's all there ready to go. But the user like you as a user may have a little bit to go to get your legs under you, to know how to get the end result you're looking for. I kind of have a secret weapon while I'm here, but you also saw I kind of figured it out as I asked him. So like, what am I missing? Man, I thought I did that. What could be another problem? Oh, and you saw like, oh yeah, maybe something's cached on my computer. Let me open up a new incognito window and try the URL there. That's another little sneak trick. You saw how to clear the cache. Right click, go to inspect. That weird stuff opens up. Click on the refresh or hover over it and then click and hold it. And then go to the empty cache and hard reload. That's another trick that we've taught before, but it's always a good reminder. So those are a couple tricks that I'm glad you got to see here. So I came in with a purpose of like, okay, that's not the right page. That's the other page. The page that we created today had a purpose. I knew going in, all right, I want to send an email to my list. I want them to see the video that I uploaded to YouTube, and I want them to go check out my platoon. And now let me make sure once again, I have the right URL. I need to take the 2 off. See, I didn't do that. Now the 2's off. Update that. I want to publish it. See, I'm glad that I did that last review. I'm going to go to new incognito window. I'm going to paste that URL just to make sure. And voila, there it is. That's me at that same place I went to the cryo. This is me in a hyperbaric chamber. Massive oxygen for an hour plus there. So I talk about the program in the hyperbaric chamber. So anyhow, that's the mission that I had to show you how simple this is. And this is going to be the page, and I'm going to email to my email lists. They're going to check out my pre-sunrise run that opens up their eyes to some nuggets of wisdom, as well as my new inner circle program called My Platoon. And there it is. So, sometimes it's as simple as this. Other times it's to create an opt-in page. Other times it's to create a sales page. But that's what we got. You saw some of the mind of a marketer in the beginning. You got to see life is like a roll of toilet paper. Here I am investing my most precious asset with you, my decade plus wisdom of producing great results with you, to help you understand challenges are going to be there, but with small, consistent steps, you'll figure it out and you'll get from where you are to where you want to be. Now I'm going to jump over to StreamYard and go to the private chat. And okay, great. So it looks like I have now, this is the best time using Groove. We're all growing together. Absolutely. Yes. Great point, Gary. I've sometimes find not including / on the end of URL, I get a 444. Yeah, sometimes, right. So it's a continual testing. That's the other lesson. Gary, frustrating and exciting at the same time. That's any technology, Gary. Nowadays, it's like, all right, hopefully this works, but I'm expecting challenges because when we're dealing with this internet and all the different moving parts, there's going to be challenges. I'm growing every time I use Groove. Great. Good stuff. All right. So, and Colleen, yes, it's kind of, life's going to give us lemons. Are we ready to make lemonades from it? So expect challenges, but know that you are perseverant, you are smart, and you'll figure it out one step at a time. The process of elimination, you got to witness it. And I said lemons. We got David Lemon here, right? That's right. Okay, cool. So that's the training for today. I'm hoping that this opened your eyes to several things, marketing related strategies that we talked about, And then I do have one last resource to share before we call it quits on that. So if I can share back the page. The other resource with the previous trainings, right, is GrooveDigitalAcademy.com. If you go to GrooveDigitalAcademy.com, it'll ask you to create your free account, which is basically just entering the email that you have associated with your Groove account. And once you do that, you're going to be able to log in. And I'm already logged in, I believe. So then once you log in, you go to the trainings. This is where you go to the GrooveFunnel trainings. And inside here, real quickly, when you hover over start here, you got some quick help, onboarding series, Groove video search, which is if you're looking for specific issues or challenges, like you saw, we ran into some challenges, like page isn't loading properly. Like you'll find the Groove video search is going to help you find specific topics that you are searching for in the trainings. The webinar replays on demand, that's the previous Tuesday trainings that we have done. Groove Pages, publish your site, website building, integrations, GrooveSell, product funnels, products, tutorials, Groove affiliate tips, walkthroughs, Groove Partner Program, Groove Pages for affiliate marketing. If you haven't looked at these, by the way, go do so, because this offer is converting very well. And by you sharing a free, powerful tool with your people, they're also going to see the amazing opportunity to upgrade, and you earn great commission. So I would encourage you to go through the Groove Partner Program and the trainings here, so you can help others get this powerful tool in their hands and earn some money along the way. And then Lemonade, David Lemon, live Q&A sessions, live builds, tutorials, Groove Pages, show and tell reviews. So all this is there for you at your disposal in between our Tuesday trainings and the other trainings that David and other experts are giving throughout the week. So David, I'm now going to open it back up. I'm done with the sharing. To you is, are there any questions we need to handle before we wrap up today's Tuesday with Tom and David training?
So far, I haven't seen any question that would need to catch our attention at this moment. Everything, like, the people are so happy with when you're teaching them. I can teach them the things, the software and the things like that, but I cannot teach them the experience and the years of ups and downs in the business, because I haven't had those. So I believe, guys, in case you're watching this one, you can learn a lot more in this 1.5 hour training than what you would have gone through in a couple of years of your experience. Because learning from your experience is good, but learning from others' experience, that is what makes you smart, that is what makes you wise. And if you take in the knowledge from myself around the software, from Tom around the marketing and mindset and things like this, you are well on your way to actually do better than both of us together. So this is something, if you use, you have the tools, you have the knowledge now. It's just your step, basically. Go out there and then use it. You know how to build your page, you know what to put on your page, you know how to think about creating your pages and business. Just take that step, click that publish button, and share those links around as much as you can. And believe me, that's the step that many of us are afraid to do, but that's the biggest thing that will change your life, and it will change your life. So that's just the thing I can say. Don't be afraid. Go out there, share it, create it, and just enjoy. Like, it's a game. Life is a game. If you learn how to play it, you'll win it. That's
100%, 100%. Totally agree with that. So make it happen in between now and next week. Get your pages out there, step out of comfort zone, get it created. And David, thank you for your expertise and guidance on today's training as well. And I'll see you all next Tuesday.
See you guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.